why does the Indian Air Force always hold the edge against the Pakistan Air Force? A Pakistani-origin JF-17 fighter jet has been shot down by anti-junta rebels in Myanmar. The JF-17 operated by Myanmar military was shot down in the conflict-ridden Sagaing region. Videos circulating widely on social media shows people rushing towards what can be seen as metal debris, including what appears to be a piece of the landing gear. The visuals and images of the JF-17 wreckage from Myanmar is a slap on the face of all those Pakistani trolls who had been spreading fake propaganda on the Indian Air Force. What's even more shocking is that the Myanmar rebels used a toy rocket or a shoulder-fired short-range manpads and not even an advanced air defense system like the Indian Akash or the Russian 400. A Pakistani-origin JF-17 can't even survive likely armed Myanmar rebels. Do Pakistani propaganda channels really believe it stood any chance against the Indian Air Force Sukhoi 30 MKI and the Rafale in the recent India-Pakistan war? This also explains why the Indian Air Force was able to hit 9 terror headquarters and then 11 Pakistani air bases with JF-17 nowhere in sight. Declaring a rare victory over Myanmar Air Force, the Myanmar anti-coup guerrillas claimed to shoot down a junta jet, announcing, quote, "Our fighters were able to shoot down an attack jet today. This is the first in the history of the PLA." While most reports claim a shoulder-fired manpads short-range anti-air rocket was used, other reports even claim the overhyped JF-17 was shot down using a machine gun. This after 4 days of fierce fighting by the Myanmar People's Liberation Army, an armed wing of a Myanmar communist group. But the Myanmar military junta claims the exact opposite, saying the plane crashed near the central village of Min Thang Pin suddenly around midday because of sudden engine failure while on a practice flight. Junta asserts that the crash site has been secured by the security forces and relevant authorities are continuing investigation on the cause of the engine failure. But even that would be a massive embarrassment for the Pakistani JF-17. And Azerbaijan now would be thinking twice about its multi-billion-dollar deal for 40 Pakistani-origin JF-17. The incident marks the first combat loss of a fighter jet in Myanmar's civil war, fueling further questions about the jet's performance and survivability in high conflict zones. Earlier, Myanmar became the first export customer of the JF-17, signing a $560 million deal for 16 Block II variants. However, according to reports, Myanmar had complained about the jet's quality to Pakistan. According to this Times of India report, quote, "Soon after delivery of the aircraft, the Burmese Air Force was forced to ground the planes as malfunctions and structural flaws were detected," unquote. In fact, the non-utility of the Pakistani aircraft hampered the junta's plans to carry out targeted airstrikes against the Myanmar rebel groups. Former Myanmar Air Force pilots cited structural cracks in the airframe, particularly at the wingtips and hard points of the JF-17. Malfunctions in critical systems such as the Chinese-made KLJ-7 radar, which suffered from poor accuracy and maintenance issues, were also spotted by them. If these recurring issues weren't enough, marred by limited combat performance, the Weapon Mission Management Computer completely failed to deliver effective beyond visual range missile capabilities. The Irrawaddy Times observed a few years back, quote, "The airframe is vulnerable to damage, especially in its wingtips and hardpoints, when the aircraft encounters strong gravitational forces," according to a former pilot of the Myanmar Air Force, unquote. Reportedly, the development even became a friction point between Myanmar and Pakistan, with the frustrated junta leader General Min Aung Hlaing expressing strong dissatisfaction to Pakistani officials. But this is not the first time the Pakistan-China co-produced jet experienced malfunction or crashed. Just last year, when Pakistan decided to stay tight-lipped about JF-17's crash near Faisalabad district, Martin Baker, the ejection seat manufacturer, let the cat out of the bag. Martin Baker posted on X, quote, "On Wednesday, 5th of June, a Pakistani Air Force JF-17 Block 2 aircraft crashed near the Jhang district. The pilot successfully ejected using the Martin Baker PK-16 LEC." Unquote. This was the fifth confirmed crash of a Pakistani Air Force JF-17 out of only 150 in service. No wonder Pakistan wanted to bury the news, which may have impacted its international sales. This crash happened not even a month after Pakistan bagged a landmark deal to provide 12 JF-17 Block 3 to the Iraqi Air Force. Besides Iraq, the fighters have already been acquired by Nigeria, and now Azerbaijan too has finalized the deal to acquire 40 of these jets. In a post on platform X in May, Pakistan government confirmed how Azerbaijan has increased their order from 16 to 40 as part of a $4.6 billion defense agreement. However, this is the same jet, JF-17 Thunder, which was reportedly shot down by the Indian Air Force during the recent war, though the Indian Air Force has not officially revealed any operational details, as Operation Sindoor has not officially ended. Armenia now even has the Indian Akash air defense system to neutralize any JF-17 threat from Azerbaijan. But where does the problem lie? The slew of problems regarding the JF-17 can be attributed to its faulty engine. It all started when China offered its WS-13 engine riddled with reliability issues to JF-17 operators. Another tragic flaw lies in the China-made KLJ-7 radar, which analysts claim has poor accuracy and maintenance problems. Argentina recently turned down the JF-17s and opted for second-hand F-16s for its Air Force, which in contrast have been combat tested in the past. This even after Argentina's embassy in China claimed on the 14th of March 2024 that the South American nation was seriously considering the JF-17 fighters, but ultimately it opted for proven second-hand F-16s. Nigeria operates just 3 JF-17s after becoming the second international customer. But unhappy with the jet's performance, Nigeria decided against buying any more and instead is now purchasing 24 M346FA jets from Italy. With JF-17 set to remain the backbone of the Pakistani Air Force for decades ahead, it is highly unlikely that the PAF would be able to compete with the Indian Air Force and its formidable Sukhoi 30s, the Rafale, and even the indigenous Tejas. No wonder then that the Indian military was able to hit 9 different terror bases deep inside Pakistan, as well as striking at least 11 major Pakistani air bases at will. And while a couple of planes may have been damaged, the Indian Air Force has confirmed that all its pilots are back home and safe. But what do you believe? Is the JF-17 a world-class fighter, or is it just an overhyped flying tin can? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.